Hi, and welcome to the 59th edition of Stump the Pastor. Today's question is tithing required of Christians? Now, I've had several people ask about things related to tithing, so just to make sure everyone's on the same page. The term tithe refers to giving 10% of one's income or one's harvest to the work of God. So this is an ancient practice that was instituted in Judaism as a way for the Israelites to support the Levites at the temple, their worship leaders at the time. This was incorporated into Christianity and is widely seen as the standard for how individuals and groups support the work of the church financially. Now, in contemporary culture, a tithe has simply become synonymous with putting money in the offering plate at worship, whatever the amount. But just so you know, that is not a tithe, that is an offering. Tithes and offerings are both welcomed in most places, but they're not quite the same thing. So for our purposes today, we're going to specifically look at the 10% figure as the reason for the tithe. Now, the first person in the Bible mentioned as someone who tithed was Abram, who would later become Abraham. And Abram gave a tenth of his wealth to Melchizedek, the king of Salem. This is found in the 14th chapter of Genesis. Now, one interesting thing about the king of Salem, Melchizedek, is that in this story in the 14th chapter, he is called both the king of Salem and the king of Sodom, which is a very different place. So Melchizedek, however, blessed the efforts of Abram, and as a result, Abram gives him a tithe of his wealth in gratitude. So the first known tithe in the Bible is an expression of gratitude. Now, it will not surprise most of my viewers that practically all Christian churches welcome tithes. Some require members to tithe. Others set it as a benchmark, but still allow freedom of giving. Now, I will confess to you that I am a tither. I give a tithe not out of requirement, but simply out of gratitude. I find tithing to be a good spiritual discipline for myself. Plus, it has helped me let go of using money as the basis of my worth. For me, giving a significant portion of what I receive reminds me that I can support the ministry for which I have a great passion. It is also a tangible reminder not to place my confidence in money, but to live by faith. And let's face it, there is always somewhere for your money to go. What we do with our money is a tangible manifestation of what we value. I want to encourage you, take your bank statement one month and divide out all your expenditures by what you spend them on. Utilities, family support, church, recreation, eating out, and so forth. It will actually give you a clear picture of what is important in your life. If your spending doesn't match your values, you can change it. Sometimes it takes a process of weaning off one value to increase giving to something else that you value. But just know there are a few absolutes in the world. But this one has proved true for me. Where we spend our money is truly a reflection of what's important to us, of what we value. So is tithing required in order to be a Christian? You know me well enough by now to know there is no one size that fits all when it comes to our faith journey. And I am reluctant to say anything is required to be a faith journey, because then it becomes a rule and not by faith. But if you really want to know what you value, follow the dollars. If you find that the picture doesn't match your idea of who you want to be, then change it. Over time, abruptly, set up a schedule. There's not one right way to do it. Do it the way that works for you. Just make whatever changes you need to make that reflect your values as a person and your values as a Christian. See you next time on Stump the Pastor. Well, thanks for the question. I know that most of you have gotten the idea so far that who I am as a Christian has much more to do than what can be required by somebody or some institution. But you might have other questions that stem from your experience of your faith journey. Send them to me. I'd like to hear them, and I'd like to share with other people here on Stump the Pastor. See you next time.